Hi, I'm John Byrne. It's Poets and Quants in Cars. Question for you. How do you get to the Bay Area from Bloomington, Indiana? You get an MBA at Kelley School of Business. We're crossing the Golden Gate Bridge into the beautiful city of San Francisco, and we're going in to see two alums from the Kelley School of Business who've used their MBA to make remarkable career transitions into Google and Ancestry.com. These are two fairly non-traditional students who never would have imagined that they'd be working in the dynamic economy in the Bay Area. Hey, hi, I'm John Byrne. Hey, great to meet you at the Google campus in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We're going to meet one of your Kelley colleagues who also works in the Bay Area. Let's go.
That's awesome.
What was it like coming out here from Bloomington, Indiana? You had your MBA, it was a little over 2 years ago, and you moved to San Francisco.
You know, going from Venezuela and then Bloomington, Indiana, and then now in San Francisco, I think that the MBA really helped me out. Not only that, it's just that Kelley also has a really good network here in the Bay Area.
Hey, pleasure to meet you. Charu, thank you for joining us today in San Francisco. I think you know this guy next to you, don't you?
I do. We go back.
Guillermo, you work for Google, of course.
Yeah.
And Charu, you have such a remarkable background in clinical psychology and cognitive neuroscience, and then being an entrepreneur on your own without even really knowing much about business. And now you're working at one of the hot startups in the Bay Area, Ancestry.com. So how did you come to the decision to get an MBA and to get one at Kelley?
I was at a point where I wanted to change something, and Kelley seemed like the right place to go for that change. I wanted a school that could help transition into marketing, into product management, into innovation, and Kelley checked box for all of those things for me. So it seemed like the right place to be at, and I think that's kind of what brought me there.
I was applying from Venezuela. I wanted to work in the US for a little bit, and with an engineering background, I think that a business component is a great marriage. So an MBA was like a go-to for me. The decision of why Kelley is just because of their amazing career services and the academic structure. I think that those two combined for me was like an easy pick.
I'd never thought that I was going to get an MBA. I was pretty much like, I'm going to get my doctorate for clinical psychology.
You were the brain scientist in a way, right?
Yeah, so I was doing fMRI research, I'd applied, I'd gotten accepted to my doctorate programs, and no school made me feel as comfortable as Kelley. Like when that kind of clicked for me, I decided, okay, business school's the right next move. And specifically, Kelley is a place to go because they are so welcoming.
Kelley School of Business is in Bloomington, Indiana, smack in the Midwest. And I have to say, maybe I wouldn't think that someone who comes out as Kelley would end up in San Francisco in the most dynamic economy in the world at companies like Ancestry and Google. How did that happen, really?
There's a lot of connections between the Bay Area and Kelley. The alumni network here is great. Not only that you have people that come here for recruiting purposes and for alumni events as well.
Plus, there were 3 members of your class alone who went to Google.
When I joined Google, the person that I was replacing, it was from Kelley, like an MBA
Really?
Kelley.
Have you been able to plug into the Kelley network out in the Bay Area?
We have alumni everywhere, and it really is true. I found out one of the lawyers on our team is a Kelley alum from many years ago, and we had a bonding moment about how wonderful it was to live in Bloomington for those 2 years. So Kelley alums are everywhere. You just say the name and you'll hear someone say, yep, I've been there too.
Now, as young professionals, what is it like to work in San Francisco?
Well, for me, it's great. I think that the multicultural piece of it and the diversity that there is in the Bay Area, it actually made me be more comfortable of being, out in the U.S. So, yeah. It was not the case back in Venezuela.
So coming from a non-traditional background, and on top of that being a woman, going into a business culture, which traditionally has been male-dominated, did you feel any anxiety, any worry about it when you went to Kelley?
No, I did not, because one, I had not thought about it that way when I went in, and when we got in, there were so many resources for women in business. We have associations that are focused on helping women in business that talk about a lot of different topics to help you prepare for that.
It's also one of the few top business schools with a female dean, and a very good one at that. And I can attest to the fact that there are a lot of staff and faculty working on the weekends on behalf of the students.
That is completely accurate.
And it was really impactful to see how involved the faculty and staff and the career services have been. And I think being in a small town, you get to know your classmates really well. I talk to my friends that I made from there every single day.
Even now?
Yeah. It's a true friendship that I didn't expect to get, and I feel very fortunate to have that kind of friendship with those people that I met there that I know I will have for years to come.
Well, thank you both for joining me today. This is John Byrne with Poets&Quants, and two great Kelley alums who've made a remarkable career transition into the Bay Area. Thanks for watching.